Hello my friends, it's Cami from the blog and channel Tidbits and Company. I just got back from picking up my Azure Standard order. And because you guys often ask me what are the things I like to buy in bulk, I thought this would be a good opportunity to share with you those items and give you an idea of what we are buying from Azure Standard. All right, first things first, if you are unfamiliar with Azure Standard, it is kind of a co-op type company where someone in your area can or has arranged for Azure Standard to package and deliver the items to your local community so that you can pick them up and divide out the shipping costs and make it work better for everyone. So definitely get onto azurestandard.com and see if there's already a pickup organized. Chances are there is one in your area. I do have to drive about a half an hour away to get to our meetup, but doing that once a month isn't a big deal for me because we often have to get to town for other things anyway, since we kind of live out in the country. It's just something we have to do monthly. So it works out for us and makes it worth it. But you might be wondering, why do Azure Standard when there are places like Costco or Sam's Club or other stores that already carry bulk items? And I have found that I really like Azure Standard because of how they source their products or grow their products or farm their products. They have really incredible organic products for a great price when you're buying them in bulk. And there are many items that I just have not been able to find the quality with the cost when compared with buying in bulk. There are some things I prefer to buy like at Costco, but for the most part, I kind of have worked through some of my go-tos. They also have like really unique items like raw cheese that isn't carried like in other bulk stores at all. And so you get more direct from farm to customer by buying from Azure Standard. And they just keep kind of growing their product offers, and I really like it. So that is the main reasons I like to buy from Azure and have kind of my go-to items. And again, if you're new and want to go check them out, I actually have a link that I will leave in the description that if you click on and then go over to Azure Standard to place an order, for the first time you will get $25 like credit to your account. So you can maybe try some items that you otherwise wouldn't, or give it a test drive with that credit. It's a great opportunity. So please check the description for that link and click on it before you go and shop. That way it's automatically credited to your cart. And then they often have like different coupons. So I will keep the description updated for the most relevant coupon that I can find and get for you, so you can save a little more money that way to try it out. I know when I started using Azure, I did the same thing. I clicked on someone's link, got that credit, got the discount, and then got more familiar with it. So please check that out if you wanted to give it a test drive. Okay, I'm just gonna jump right in and show you what I picked up this time. I did grab a few other items that I picked up last time that were in my shelf that I wanna share with you. And this is not all of my favorites from Azure Standard. I don't buy all the things every month. So what I will do is I will compile a blog post for you where I will just list out my favorites and my go-tos. So check the link to head over to my blog post for that so you can see, okay, what kind of dairy products has she bought? What kind of produce or what kind of bulk flowers, since I'm not able to share with you all of the things I've ever bought there, but I will make a list for you if you find that helpful. I know I love to hear what people buy, because often when you check out a new company, like when I go to Trader Joe's, I just don't know what to buy because I'm so unfamiliar with a lot of the items. But if you can hear what other people have bought, it's a good place to start. Okay, let's start with the produce that I got this time. I love to get their red onions and their yellow onions, and I get those in bulk. This is one thing we haven't been able to grow yet in our garden from bulk. We're kind of testing it out, but we're not able to get something like this. So I like to get a big old bag of onions, usually every time, and then we have them for a couple months since they last so well in kind of our cool, darker storage areas. And I love to get red onions because we love to ferment them and keep fermented sliced red onions. They're so good, just topped on tacos and all that stuff. And of course, I always grab their garlic bulbs. We put garlic in everything. I use it to make like fire cider, which is an immune booster. This time I've been seeing on Instagram, people infuse the garlic into honey. That makes a really good immune booster. So I want to get a head start on that for cold and flu season. So I really wanted to stock up on some garlic. And just so you know, all the produce that I get, in fact, I would be surprised if they even list any produce that's not organic, but all of it's organic. And if you buy them in bulk like this, it's a much better price than trying to buy organic produce like at natural grocers or a Whole Foods store. So that's why I love that. But of course, you don't have to buy things in bulk. So I just got a little container of blueberries. A lot of times they're working with farmers and getting their local produce. So I always check what produce that week is local. I know they had cherries on, but we get cherries from a neighbor's tree. So anyway, if you want access to smaller produce items, they have it, or more seasonal. So I always grab some lemons. We just use those a lot, and organic lemons just taste so much better. Okay, the other thing I showed you already is these big old blocks of cheese. They have the several different brands, but I like to get the cheese that is the raw milk cheddar cheese that they make. It is so good. It's sometimes sold out, so I was glad to get this big block, but I usually buy 2 of these, and that will last us for an entire month. It doesn't go bad, but I didn't need 2 this time. So getting these huge 5-pound blocks of cheese, so delicious. You will not be able to go back to the cheese just at the grocery store. It just doesn't taste near as good. Just, you have been warned. Okay, also in the dairy department, I love their butter. So I get this big old box. I believe there is, actually I don't know how many, like 30 or so cubes in here, but these cubes are actually like 2 sticks. So this is a lot of butter. This will probably last us for a couple of months, but I do love this Rumiano brand. It's made in Europe, or at least it's European style butter. They have several different butter options, and I've tried a few of them. So check my blog post for the ones I've tried, and I'll comment on my favorites. But I just stick these in the freezer, and then we never run out of butter. And again, once you try this European style organic butter, the taste is just incomparable to any of the cheaper stuff that you'll get in the store. And I don't know about you, but I was checking the cost of butter just at my local grocery store, and it has gotten so expensive. I actually feel like this is really comparable to what you're getting at the store. So for just a tiny bit more, you're getting butter in bulk, and the taste and the quality and how it's farmed and raised, it just far surpasses what you get at the store. So I'm getting a little picky once you try stuff like this. The other stuff just tastes so bland. Okay, let's move into some of the like fats and sweeteners that I get. So this is a big old container of coconut oil, virgin and expeller pressed and organic. It's delicious. We always have plenty of coconut oil. I have actually been cooking and baking with coconut oil more than anything lately, just because I tested my cholesterol and it's a little high, so I'm trying to substitute a lot of the fats that we have used for fats that do not have cholesterol. And so coconut oil works great, and we bake with it a lot. And actually this big tub, I used to get 5-pound, or these are 1-gallon tubs. I used to get the same 1-gallon tubs off of Amazon. But when I found out that this one from Azure Standard was much cheaper, I definitely moved towards that. Okay, then I also get in these bulk jugs, I get olive oil, organic olive oil, extra virgin, cold pressed, really high quality. You have to be super careful about the oils that you purchase. We like to keep it with the clean oils, not the processed oils, so naturally they're more expensive, but they're pretty sneaky about olive oil just in the store. You think you're buying the best quality oil, but there's a lot of fillers and processes that they sometimes do. So from Azure, you can read about their farming practices and how they process it, and you just kind of know that you're getting a good product, because regardless, you're gonna spend quite a bit on olive oil, so you wanna make sure that it's really good quality and that you're not just buying a bunch of filler stuff. I also like to get their big jugs of apple cider vinegar. We use that for like fermenting. I use it sometimes for my herbs and making infusions and whatnot, but also a lot of times to make salad dressings. Apple cider vinegar is just great. Okay, this was a first time purchase for me. They have these big gallon jugs of raw honey, and they have different varieties based on what those bees were surrounded by. So this one was the berry and wildflower honey. I believe it was the cheapest one. Some of them can get quite pricey, but this is good stuff. This is like raw, beautiful liquid gold. And it's the first time I've had to buy it because we have always harvested our own honey. My husband does bees, but we have run out for the first time in quite a few years, which is so sad. But we've had some bee losses, so it is what it is. So I did have to buy some, but how awesome that you can buy this huge gallon full of honey. And then I bought the garlic as well, so I can infuse some of the garlic in this big jug of honey. Something that I always keep 2 of is this peanut butter. It's the Once Again brand. This one does not say organic on it, but the ingredients are just peanuts. There's no sugar, there's no added oils, no processed oils. This is just peanuts. So I always have 2 of these buckets on hand. This one's dirty, you can see this is the one we've been using. It's amazing peanut butter and clean. I will say if you're used to just the creamy peanut butter that you can scoop out of a jar, you might find this bucket of peanut butter a little more challenging because it's just peanuts. So the oils separate and it clumps up, and it's very difficult to stir once you first get it. What we have found is the best thing to do is before you actually open it up for several days, you'll just store it upside down and then flip it, and then you just continue to flip it, and it naturally kind of mixes the oils with the peanut butter, and then it's easier to stir later on. So it's just something you have to figure out, but once you can get it stirred, you can even put it in smaller jars or like squeeze bottles. But anyway, that peanut butter is great quality, and I love to have it in bulk like that. Oh, you guys, when I was talking about the produce, I forgot to mention I like to get potatoes from them. We don't grow quite enough yet in our garden to make it through a year. So we're in the summer right now and haven't been able to harvest our new potatoes. So I've been buying them. You can get them in 5-pound bags, 10-pound bags. Sometimes I get them in the really big boxes if we know that we can store it and keep them longer. But they're organic. You can actually let them kind of sprout and then plant them in your garden. That's what we did this year. So great quality in potatoes. Okay, I'll move on to some of the packaged dry goods that I like to buy. This one I pulled out of my shelf, but I bought some organic cocoa powder from Azure, and it is phenomenal. So I love that it comes in these big bags. This is a 5-pound bag of cocoa powder, or cacao powder, I should say. Great for baking, great for homemade hot chocolates. We just use it all the time, and it has a phenomenal chocolate taste, so you can really tell it's quality. Something my kids really love to snack on is peanuts in the shell. So you can get these big bags or smaller bags of these jumbo peanuts, and this is like a really healthy, high protein, fun snack for the kids. They love it all year long, and Azure's peanuts are great. Another absolute favorite is their popcorn. It's usually a weekly thing for our family to do a movie and popcorn night, something we really look forward to as a family. And I have found that their organic popcorn is so good. Our favorite variety is the mushroom. They have tons of varieties. You can get like multicolored, but the mushroom popcorn is just really plump and has a nice crunch to it. It's so good. And this is one thing that I've been like non-negotiable on, that I buy organic. You may or may not know, but corn is one of the most highly sprayed crops with glyphosate and all sorts of nasty herbicides and pesticides for corn crops. So that's non-negotiable for me. Since we eat so much popcorn and enjoy corn, I definitely buy organic there. And this time was the first for me to buy some figs. What happened was the last time I went to a pickup, I saw a friend there who was picking up an order for her mom, and her mom had bought the big old box of these figs. And as we were talking, she let me snack on some. They were so good. So I bought a smaller pack because I wanted to see how much my family would enjoy them, because I knew I couldn't eat through an entire big box of them. So I bought this smaller pack. We'll see how fast they get gobbled up. And my guess is I might buy a bigger one next time. But that's what's so nice. You can get on and buy stuff from Azure Standard in just these smaller packages, or each product has options to buy bigger in bulk. So you do have options. Okay, right over here, I've got my big bags of all-purpose einkorn flour. This is what I feed my sourdough starter with. I don't use it a lot just in baking, but I do like to feed my starter with it. And the reason is I like that it's organic. Einkorn is one of the, I think it is like the most original wheat that we have, one of the most ancient grains, and it's much more easily digestible for a lot of people that have gluten intolerances. Anyway, we love einkorn. It takes some getting used to bake with it, but for the most part, I mainly use it to feed my sourdough starter, and then I know that if I'm using like other white flour products, or if we use the sourdough starter just as a discard for like pancakes or waffles for our pizza, even though it's all purpose and has had the brand taken out, it's still a whole lot better than traditional white flours. So I like to get that. It is pricier, so that is one of the main reasons I'm a little conservative about using it. But I really do love that that's what my sourdough starter mainly is, so that I know it's nice and healthy and really the best option we have out there. Okay, so I am trying their canned goods. This is a first for me. I got tomato sauce and a case of their diced tomatoes. These are probably the products that we use most of as far as canned goods. And I was excited to see that they had this whole new line of organic canned products. So I'm excited to try these and to stock up on some of these canned goods that we use frequently. We make a lot of pizza, homemade pizza, so tomato sauce is great for making our sauce. And I think I tried to order their coconut milks in canned. That's the other thing we use a lot of canned, but they were out, so I'll have to get that next time. Well, I think that wraps it up on the haul this time. Again, check my blog post for like an entire complete list of the things that I'm buying. And also I will update that blog post if I try new things and like them, so that I don't feel like I need to do a haul every time I get my Azure order, even though that would be fun. But I have integrated my Azure orders into other kind of lifestyle videos. So you might have seen that I get big, like 50-pound bags of flours and whole grains that we use, or berries. I get einkorn berries from Azure Standard that we ground ourselves. So anyway, check that blog post if you'd like to see a more comprehensive list, but that's what I got this time. And now I need to get it put away, but I hope you enjoyed watching this Azure Standard haul. Please let me know if you shop Azure and have some favorites that I didn't mention as well. I would love to hear what you buy. And then be sure to check my link in the description to get $25 credit towards your first order. and for any relevant coupon codes. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will be back very soon to share more inspiration for the keeper of the home.